Good morning to you all, dear Dhamma friends, brothers and sisters. Today we are going to study the Anatta, no soul concept in Buddhism. We have already studied two main things, impermanent, anicca, and the suffering, dukkha. This is the most difficult topic when we talk about anatta. It is difficult to explain. Following the teachings of the Buddha, I try to explain as much as possible within this limited period. If we talk in details, we have to talk this topic more than 2-3 months. There are many explanations. However, I see newcomers also here today. I would like to give the meaning of anicca. Anicca means changing, moment by moment. That is impermanent. Everything is having that condition or nature. Every being and every inanimate, animate objects, they are having the same nature, coming and going, arising and passing. In the middle there's one thing remaining. Arising, remaining and passing. These three situations are there with all those things. And the suffering, if they are facing to impermanent conditions, they are producing suffering. We have to consider about the sensual pleasures. Through sense organs, we are experiencing sensual pleasures. These are time to time coming and going, not permanent. Temporarily we are experiencing those things. Endless thing, growing, craving. Nothing is there, only growing, craving. And it is the cause for the birth cycle. We are developing tanha, then the deep attachment, upadana. Then it gives rebirth again and again in this birth cycle. These are the meanings of first two words, anicca and dukkha. Then we are moving to the third one. It is anatta. Anatta or anatta. General meaning of anatta is not soul, not self, no ego. The Sanskrit word for this atta means atman. Anatta means anatman. It is discussed in details in Indian philosophy, especially Hinduism. As we have studied, there are two atmans, Jivatman and Paramatman. Jivatman means individual soul. Paramatman means supreme soul. We have discussed it in previous discourses. We are the individual souls. So all these individual souls are created by the supreme soul, which is named as Brahma. He is creating all these souls which are connected to the beings. It is permanent, as they expressed. The soul is permanent. It is remaining eternally. This Jivatman, after meditating on Brahma, reach to the Supreme Brahma or Supreme Atma, then he will remains there eternally. living there. That idea is given in Indian philosophy. In that philosophy there are different sections. Some are saying both are same. That theory is named as Advaita Vedanta philosophy. Advaita Vedanta, non-duality of Atman. Same. You are a Brahman. She is a Brahman. So all are Brahmans. According to that theory, Advaita Vedanta philosophy. Some are saying, no, there's difference. Jivatman or individual soul is one thing, the Paramatman is another thing. Duality is there. It is called Dvaita Vedanta. Thinking and learning, studying these teachings of Hinduism, in the beginning, sometimes there was not a name. However, among the sages, philosophers in the period of the Buddha, this topic was talking. That is why Buddha has given lots of explanations on this topic. Buddha said, you are wrong. There is no such kind of eternal soul. That is why I am going to teach not soul theory. Not soul theory. Anatta, the theory of Anatta. Here some lines you can see. Permanent, everlasting and absolute entirety, which is the unchanging substance behind the changing phenomenal world. It is according to the Hinduism. Then no eternal soul. According to the Buddhism, there is no eternal soul, self or Atman. The idea of soul is an imaginary, false belief which has no corresponding reality, and it produces harmful thoughts of me and mine, selfish desire, craving, attachments, impurities and problems. I have quoted these lines from the book named as What the Buddha Taught, written by Most Venerable Valpola Rahula Thero. This book is very famous in the world. I think it has translated into more than 40 languages as a summary of the Buddhism. Venerable Rahula Thero has written this book. You also have to find that book. It was there in Buddhist Maha Vihara. Try to find it. Maybe it is in the library, and read whole the book. The things which are connected to the fundamental Buddhism, it is clearly explained in brief. The doctrine of Anatta, or no soul, is the natural result of, or the corollary to the analysis of the five aggregates and the teaching of the theory of dependent origination, Paticca Samuppada. So, when we study the theory of Anatta, we have to turn our attention to the five aggregates and the Paticca Samuppada, theory of dependent origination. Then we can clearly understand there is no soul. Sabbe sankhara anicca. All sankharas, conditioned things, are impermanent. Sabbe sankhara dukkha. All sankharas are unsatisfactory, imperfect, unstable. Then the third one, Sabbe Dhamma Anatta. As we have discussed in early discourses, here the Buddha has used the word Dhamma, not Sankhara. In first two teachings we can see sankhara. Sabbe sankhara anicca, sabbe sankhara dukkha. The third one, sabbe dhamma anatta. In the word dhamma, everything is included. See the translation, conditioned or unconditioned things have no unchanging self or soul. Conditioned or unconditioned things. If we use the word sankhara, it is giving the meaning of conditioned, produced by the causes. They are named as sankhata in Pali, sankhata, produced by the causes. Then, in this third fact, Dhamma, unconditioned things also have taken. That is the special fact. Unconditioned thing. In Pali, asankhata. Asankhata means even the dhammas, even the nibbana, final goal. And when we think about the space, in some philosophical texts it is given the space also asankhata. It's there, nothing is there. But when we consider about the scientific investigations, there are some matters. So, in this line, even the dharma, even the higher attainments such as sotapatti, sakadagami, anagami, arahat, please don't take them as your own. No need to attach those higher spiritual progress conditions. If you attach, you can't go ahead. That is the problem. If you attach much to the philosophical facts or doctrinal things or dhammas, it may be a cause for the stop of that journey. Once Buddha explained, Ayan Dhammo Nittaranattaya no Gahanattaya. This doctrine is used for the attaining final goal. You should not attach to it. You should not have a deep attachment for that Dhamma. Kullupamango bhikkhave Dhamman desissami. I will take this Dhamma similar to a boat or ship which is used for the crossing river or sea. After crossing the river, we don't take it into our shoulder and we don't carry it, no? We use it only for the crossing. Some people will think, oh, this one helped me much to cross the river. I have to take it into my shoulder and I have to carry it without forgetting it. So, in that manner, we should not think about Dhamma. The Dhamma is only for the practice. No need to cling on that. You know, some people are there, they have deep attachment to the philosophical facts, deep attachment to the various kinds of teachings. No need to cling on those teachings, just take it as simple and follow the middle path. No attachments, just follow it. Just follow the path. We follow the samatha and vipassana practices. We have to follow them without having any attachment. Just follow. That explanation is given regarding the Dhamma, Sabbe Dhamma Anatta, conditioned or unconditioned things have no unchanging self. Even those dharmas don't have eternality. You know, taking this point in Mahayana tradition, they have explained it as Dharma Nairatmya. There are two teachings regarding the theory of Anatta, Puggala Nairatmya and Dharma Nairatmya. There is no soul related to the Puggala or persons. There is no soul related to the dharmas. Dharma Nairatmya. In many Mahayanic texts, we can see these two factors. In early Buddhism, we can see the seeds of this philosophy. They have expanded this philosophy, Mahayana Buddhist scholars. I have read many Mahayanic texts such as Ashtasahasrika Prajna Paramita, Saddharma Pundarika Sutra, and Lankavatara Sutra. There are many books related to Mahayana, Buddhist Mahayana tradition, later development of the Buddhism. They are explained, named as the later development of the Buddhist schools. Many traditions are there. When we study those texts, we can see they are the explanations of the basic teaching of the Buddha. Now here we are learning the same thing, Puggala Nairatmya and Dharma Nairatmya. There is no soul related to the persons, there is no soul related to the dharmas. Both philosophical facts are taught there. Vipassana Panya, insight meditation. When we try to understand the Anatta philosophy, Anatta concept, we have to learn these things. The five aggregates, monks, are anicca, impermanent. Whatever is impermanent, this is dukkha, unsatisfactory. Whatever is dukkha, that is without atta, self. What is without self, that is not mine. That I am not, that is not myself. Thus, should it be seen by perfect wisdom, sammapanyaya, with good wisdom, as it really is, who sees by perfect wisdom, as it really is, his mind not grasping, is detached from cravings, he is liberated. This is the way of reaching to liberation. We have to get clear wisdom on these things, especially on three characteristics. If it is impermanent, it is producing suffering. If it is impermanent and producing suffering, I should not take them or it as mine or I. We should not take. Here, Chula Satchaka Sutta. When Buddha was living in Vaisali, the city was named as Vaisali, Venerable Assaji was moving on the roads for the alms round. At that time, a philosopher named Satchaka saw him, and he is a person who was always having debates with scholars in that period. He reached to the persons and argue and defeat them. Most of philosophers are defeated by him. Then he wanted to know the teaching of the Buddha. First he approached to the Venerable Assaji, who was wandering for the alms, and they met on the side of the road. And Satchaka asked a question, Venerable, what is your teaching? Please tell me in brief. What is the teaching of Buddha? Please teach me in brief. At that time, Venerable Assaji gave these lines, Rupang Anicchang, Vedana Anicca, Sanya Anicca, Sankhara Anicca. In this manner, Venerable Assaji gave the brief introduction to the Buddhism. All these 5 aggregates, name and forms, are impermanent, producing suffering and no soul. He quoted that word, no soul. He is the teacher of Atman. Always he believed there's Atman, soul. Then he decided to meet the Buddha. I have got a point, I can defeat Buddha. Arguing on this topic. He wanted to defeat and inform to the Lichavis, the people who lived in Vaisali, please come with me. Today I am going to defeat the Buddha with this very powerful argument. Buddha is teaching no soul. I am teaching there's a soul. Come and join with me. Then all the friends and many persons who are connected to him went there, met the Buddha. And first of all, Buddha spoke to him, how are you? How is your life? It is the natural way of contacting people. Buddha always asking, Kachite kamaniyam, kachi apaniyam, kachi dukkha, kachi vedana. How is going on in these days? How are you? Are you living happily? The Buddha had such kind of great approach to the people. He is the first speaker, and he laughed first of all others. But we don't do it, no? We laugh after the seeing the face of laugh on any other persons, no? We speak with others if they speak, or else we don't speak. We observe silence. So Buddha always wanted to speak first. Speak first and laugh first. Good habit. Then he respected Buddha. After that, asked that question, Venerable Sir, I heard that you are teaching no soul. I learned from your disciple named Assaji. Is it true? Are you teaching no soul concept? Buddha said, yes, I am teaching. So, is it sure? Are you teaching the concept of no soul? Yes, I am teaching. In third time also asked, is it sure? Are you teaching the concept of no soul? Yes. Buddha answered without having any hesitation. Buddha knew everything. Then he argued, I teach there's a soul. For example, this earth is bearing everything. We are on the earth. All the trees and things, animate objects are everything. Inanimate objects, all the beings are on the earth. The earth bears all these things. In the same manner, the Atma, soul, is bearing our all things, our sense organs and everything connected to our life, bearing by Atma, even consciousness and sense organs and mind and whatever we call, all those things are bearing by our Atma. Without Atma, nothing will remain. That is my idea. Do you agree with me? The Satchaka asked from the Buddha. before having agreement, Buddha wanted to ask another question. Buddha asked from him, I will ask a question from you. You know the kings, they are ruling the countries. They are giving punishment to the persons who are doing bad things. The kings are appreciating and give rewards to the persons who are having skills and various kinds of knowledge, experts. But the king appreciates, give rewards. The king gives the rewards to all those persons. In the same manner, can you control your body? The king is controlling the country, ruling the country. In the same manner, can you control your body as a king controls the country? Can you control your eye, nose, tongue, ear and body, all these aggregates? Especially Buddha mentioned about the aggregates, Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. Rupa means form, Vedana means feeling, Sanya means perception or science, Sankhara means thoughts, and also Vijnana, consciousness. Especially the body. You like to stay without having or facing to any diseases. Can you do it? You like to stay without having any pains. Can you control it? Buddha asked few questions in this way. Then Satchaka couldn't answer. Venerable Sir, can't control those things. If there is a Atman, so it can be done. If there is Atman, soul, if it is very connected to you, so the controlling of the body and other aggregates can be done by itself. Buddha asked the answer. What is your answer? He observed silence. He couldn't answer. He didn't want to answer. If he answered the theory of soul, it means his idea will be vanished, disappeared. Second time also, Buddha asked, please answer me. I answered to your question. You also have to answer. Second time also refused. Third time, Buddha said, you have to answer this question. I am a Buddha. If you don't answer, what will happen to you? Actually, in this sutta, it is explained, I don't know why it is explained that if you don't answer third time, your head will be damaged. Sattada Pahalaya in sutta it is given, will be destroyed into many pieces. Because if a Buddha asks question 3 times, first time should answer, or else second time should answer, or else the third time should answer. After that, no more. It is unthinkable thing. Our knowledge is not enough to understand that fact. However, the Satchaka couldn't answer, then he accepted the teaching of the Buddha. You are correct, Venerable Sir. You are correct. I am wrong. I thought the Atma or soul is there. It is controlling everything. From today, I will not believe it. I will not argue on that. As you explained, the 5 aggregates are separated one by one. There are separate things. After the connecting each other, the person or the animal, the being will be appeared. That is the teaching. When we read this one, see, form is impermanent or inconstant, feeling is impermanent or inconstant, perception, fabrications, consciousness, these are impermanent. Form is not self. Feeling is not self. Perception is not self. Fabrications are not self. Consciousness is not self. All fabrications are inconstant. All phenomena are not self. This Aggivesana, Buddha addressed this Satchaka as Aggivesana, is the way in which I discipline my disciples. This part of my instruction is generally presented to my disciples. I am teaching to my disciples in this way. You have to think these 5 aggregates are impermanent and producing suffering and no soul. In this sutta, Chula Satchaka Sutta, it is explained in details. You have to find it, and it is in Majjhima Nikaya Mula Pannasaka. Majjhima Nikaya Mula Pannasaka, read it. The Anatta theory is given in details. Katham Pana Bhante Sakkaya Ditti Hotiti. You know Sakkaya Ditti, it means thinking about the body as his own, I or mine. Ida bhikkhu asutava potujjano ariyanang adassavi ariya dhammas akovido ariya dhamme avinito sappurisanang adassavi. In this manner, there is the case, monk, where an uninstructed, none of the mill person who has no regard for noble ones is not well versed or disciplined in their Dhamma, who has no regard for men of integrity, is not well versed or disciplined in their Dhamma, assumes form to be the self. The persons who are not having enough knowledge on Dhamma, they think this rupa, this body, this form as self, or the self as possessing form, or form as in the self, or the self as in form. Different ways used to explain. In Pali also it is given sanyam, attato samanupassati. Attato samanupassati means the body is taken as soul. Atta means soul. Attato samanupassati. Attanang attaniva. It is given in this way. The self as possessing form. The self is having form. These two things are very connected. The fools who are not having enough knowledge, who haven't studied Dhamma, who haven't associated Kalyana Mittas, Dhamma friends, they take this body as their own soul. They take other aggregates as their own soul, not only these 5 aggregates. The other external things take as their own, mine, because of the ignorance. Why we say because of the ignorance? If we have got wisdom, we don't think is in that manner, because they are facing to impermanent condition, they are producing suffering, and they don't have a soul. So those things we take as my or mine. it is because of the ignorance. In this sutta it is explained. There is the case monk where a well-instructed disciple of the noble ones who has regard for noble one the other way. If there's a disciple who has got enough knowledge on this doctrine, well-versed and disciplined in their dhamma, who has regard for men of integrity, is well-versed and disciplined in their dhamma, does not assume form to be the self. They don't take the form as their self. Educated persons don't take. Educated person means educated in Dhamma, not the normal education. In normal education, they take everything is all. It means own, their own. The world is not enough for them. Some countries are now invading other countries. They are invading, killing other persons in Gaza, in Israel side, in Russia and Ukraine side. It is happening. The land is not enough for them. They are invading. They are invading other lands in many ways. They are saying it is fair, we have to do it because they have done wrong thing for us. We have to do it. They are teaching in this manner. They have kidnapped our people. That is why we give punishment them. Saying it, they invade the land, belong to them. Same thing happening all other places. So, if we are educated in Dhamma, we never do those things. He does not assume feelings as his own self. Does not assume perception, fabrication. The fabrication is very connected to the sanskara. Formation, fabrication, those meanings are connected to sanskara. He doesn't assume consciousness to be the self, or the self as possessing consciousness, or consciousness as in the self, or the self as in consciousness. See, in very deep manner it is explained. These two things or three things, five things are not connected to each other, they are separated. When they get together, we name it as a person or being or anything. We name them. So, the Sabbe Dhamma Anatta, see the line, Sabbe Sankhara, in five aggregates, all mental formations which have got power to produce karmic effects. Sankhara. Sabbe Sankhara means all the karmic effects. Sankhara, mental formations. Sabbe Dhamma, all conditioned or unconditioned things. We have used another word, compounded. Compounded. The difference of the meaning you can understand seeing these lines. Sabbe Sankhara means all mental formations. Sabbe Dhamma means all conditioned and unconditioned things. There's a great sutta in Sangyutta Nikaya which is very connected to the Anatta philosophy, Anatta theory. It is named as Anatta Lakkana Sutta. By the name of this sutta, at once we can recognize it is teaching Anatta. Anatta Lakkana, features of Anatta, not soul, is given in this sutta. Rupang bhikkhave anatta, Rupang cha hidang bhikkhave atta abhavissa naidam rupang abadaya sangvatteya. Can you read it? Rupang bhikkhave anatta, rupang chahidang bhikkhave atta abhavissa naidang rupang abhadaya sangvatteya. Na idang rupang abhadaya sangvatteya. This form will not be produced wrong results toward us if we don't take it as our soul. Rupam bhikkhave anatta. The last A must be long. Anatta. The form is not having soul. Rupancha hidam bhikkhave atta bhavissa. If we don't take it as our own soul, naidang rupan, this form, abhadaya sangvatteya, na abhadaya sangvatteya, will not produce disturbances, difficulties in this birth cycle. If you take this form as your own, it is always producing suffering because of the craving and attachment and those kinds of bondages. Because form is not self. Were form self, then this form would not lead to affliction, and one could have it of form. Let my form be thus, let my form be not thus. And since form is not self, so it leads to affliction, and none can have it of form. Let my form be thus, let my form be not thus. This is connected to the form. You know, this sutta was preached by the Buddha towards, in front of the 5 ascetics who are named Panchavaggiye Bhikkhu at Isipatana Migadaya Varanasi. After the giving Dhammacakkappavattana discourse, Buddha gave few more discourses to them. 6th day, on 6th day, Buddha gave this discourse to the 5 disciples, first 5 disciples, who are named as Kondanya, Vappa, Baddiya, Mahanama, Assaji. They listened carefully, and Kondanya, Venerable Kondanya, attained arahanthood hearing this discourse. The others couldn't. Still they have to more develop. Kondanya Thera became arahant hearing this sutta. In this sutta it is explained, Rupam bhikkhave anatta, this body is not soul. If we take it as our soul, it may be a cause for the birth cycle. Vedana, here downside you can see bhikkhus, feeling is not soul, perception is not soul, determinations are not soul or not self, consciousness is not self. 5 aggregates are explained there in details in this sutta. If you need to learn more, go to the Sangyutta Nikaya 22.59. You can find this sutta. If you search in Google engine, you put Anatta Lakkana Sutta, type this name, you can read whole the sutta. It is no time to explain completely, but the theory is this. Explain very clearly the concept of not soul, anatta. Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara and Vijnana are the same. In the same manner it is explained. There are 2 truths in this world, conventional and ultimate. When we talk something in front of the society, we use conventional truth. In that context, we use I and mine. If we don't use, they will say, you are a mad, one of mad persons. You are not talking about you. You don't use the word mine, my son, my father, my brother. If you don't use, you are a mad one. If you don't use the word I, that one also is having the concept of mad. You will not be here. You are far from us. They are having misunderstandings. In conventional environment, we are talking about my car, my petrol, and my plate, my laptop, my house, my mother, my father. In conventional environment, we are talking it, but if we go ahead, we have to reach to the Paramatta Satya, ultimate truth. We have to follow the ultimate truth. Nothing is there. Can't use these words in the path to the liberation. That is why Buddha always explain this philosophy, this doctrine is not for the fools. This doctrine is for the intelligence and the persons who have got wisdom. Fools will not understand my teaching. Buddha always mentioned, Ayam Dhammo, Nayam Dhammo, Mutta Satissa. Na Ayam Dhammo, Mutta Satissa. Mutta Sati means this Dhamma is not for the fools. Ayam Dhammo Panyavantassa. This Dhamma is for the persons who has got wisdom. Not perfect wisdom. Just we have wisdom to understand this. Sometimes I am explaining here, no? Some people can't understand this explanation. Can't understand. I am talking, but you are sitting on the chair. You can't understand what is this Bhante is explaining. Can't understand. The development of mind is not enough. The wisdom is not enough. That is why we can't understand. Don't worry about that. We have to develop it step by step. After developing our wisdom, one day we will get clear knowledge on these facts. We will be fully enlightened one. After hearing, practicing, we will gain that position. Then when we use such expressions in our daily life as I, you, being, individual, etc., we do not lie because there is no self or being as such, but we speak a truth confirming the convention of the world. But the ultimate truth is that there is no I or being in reality. Philosopher Nagarjuna gave the same idea in Mula Madhyamika Karika. He is one of the great philosopher in Mahayana tradition. He found the theory of emptiness, theory of voidness. The seeds are in the basic Buddhism. He said, I am using the conventional words. Don't worry about that. But the reality is nothing is there. Everything is empty. I am using the words, persons and names, those things. In the last moment, we can't see anything in all those things. I use the conventional names and subjects to explain the theory of emptiness. When we meditate on may I be happy, may I be in safe. I is using, no? We take that word I. may my relatives be happy, be safe. When we practice loving kindness meditation, we use those words. My mother, my father, my relatives, and all those words are using. But after moving ahead, we don't take even those words. How to meditate? We don't have a good word for this meditation practice. The being who is inside me may become peaceful and happy one. The being, not I or mine. This being produced by the five aggregates may become peaceful, safe, and happy. In the final point, we have to think in this manner. If we take I or mine, we are still attached to the soul. We are still attached to the five aggregates. We use the conventional words to develop our mind, to develop our wisdom. At the last moment, we gave up all those conventional things. We move to the ultimate truth. There is nothing being or person or any other thing. Everything is produced with the elements, or else there is nothing. Anatta, belief in a permanent entity such as the Atman, often led to selfishness and egoism. Ahankara, mamankara. Ahankara means, aham means I. Mama means mine. Ahankara, mamankara. Remember these two words. Ahankara, aham means I. Mama means mine. These words are coming because of selfishness or egoism. This for him was the root cause of craving. If we are using these two words, we are having cravings. After the attainment, higher enlightenment, we don't think about these words, I and mine, no more with him. This for him was the root cause of craving and its attendant suffering in inculcation of the virtue of selflessness on the basis of a belief in self, Atma. As was the practice of the Upanishadic teachers, was according to the Buddha neither satisfactory nor correct. This led to the statement of the third characteristics, non-substantiality or no self. Anatta. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad it is mentioned. When the time being, the Indian philosophy is moved to the Buddhism side. Even Sankaracharya, very famous scholar, debater, he is called as cryptic Buddhist. He has taken the main teaching of the Buddhism and developed Hinduism. He is called cryptic Buddhist or hidden Buddhist. Though he is considered as a great philosopher in Hinduism, he taught about the avidya and he taught about the wisdom and final goal. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, we can see some explanations in the commentary also. Desire to live. According to the Buddha, man's behavior as well as his outlook on life are determined by several instincts such as desire to live. Jivitu kama. Everybody has got such kind of idea. We like to live, no? We don't want to give up this life. This moment, we are still having craving to live. Jivitu kama. Amaritu kama, we don't like to die. We are afraid of the death. Sukha kama, we are always having idea to get happiness, sukha kama. We like to get happiness, satisfactoriness. We do many things to get satisfaction, earn money, produce sensual pleasures, drinking, eating, and various kinds of activities are following to gain the happiness. But it will not produce the happiness. Endless craving are there. No satisfaction. Though we gain thousands of dollars, it is not enough for us. Still we are having craving, I have to gain more and more and more. Endless craving. So, dukkha patikula, we don't like to get experience of suffering. We don't like to suffer. In this manner, people are thinking, materialists. The rejection of this belief is an immutable self. It did not lead the Buddha to the opposite extreme of denying rebirth, continuity, moral responsibility, and the like, as was the case with the materialists. This philosophy can't understand much by all those scientists. Just they can understand the impermanent condition of all those things. They are seen. They see the impermanent condition of the sun and moon. They are decaying and getting old day by day. After few years, thousands of years, the sun will be destroyed. It will be destroyed into pieces. As Buddha explained in Satta Suryugamana Sutta, this sun will be destroyed into 7 pieces. 7 pieces. At that time there may be 7 suns. Everything will be burnt. Nothing will be there. The ashes will be on the earth. Then the rain comes, very heavy rain, and the earth will be covered by water. In that sutta it is explained. Satta Suryugamana. So after that, a new world will be there when the time been more than thousands of years. After the thousands of years, again a new world will be here. So scientists can understand the impermanency, but they don't think about the suffering and selflessness or no soul condition. They don't think suffering. They are always enjoying. They are producing many things daily. Even this moment they are producing something to satisfy our eyes, satisfy our ears, different kinds of items. See, now they have some small equipments can put in the ear, no wires, no any connection to the phones or anything. They are listening to the songs. Hundreds of songs are there in that chip. They have stored, and there are sunglasses while they are moving on the road. They are watching films. They are watching films on sunglass. They can see the films. And also, after a few years, everybody can fly in the sky. They will produce some small kinds of what is called fans. Then start with a small motor is backside. The fan is started, then come up, then move as birds in the sky. After a few years, the sons and daughters will fly in the sky. No need to buy vehicles. This is the nature of science. They are developing. But they don't think all these things are endless, can satisfy for few minutes. Temporary satisfaction is there, and they will take all those things as their own. They never think as no soul. They think everything as their own. This is the nature of the world. Bundle of perceptions. According to the Buddha, this is merely a bundle of perceptions, sankhara punja, or a group of aggregates, skandha, not discrete and discontinuous, but connected and continuous by way of causality, a bundle, kaya, which for the sake of convenience is designated by such names as Sariputta and Moggallana. There are different names, but the basic things are same, which are called elements. All these are elements. Though you have got different form, different name, the basic things are four elements, especially four elements, Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo, and the five aggregates. A being, hence the declaration of one of his disciples named Sailor, Yatahi Anga Sambhara Hoti Sando Ratho Iti Evang Kandesu Santesu Hoti Santoti Sammuti. For just as when the parts are rightly said, the word chariot arises in our minds, so does our usage convenient to say a being when the aggregates are there. This verse is very important when we try to understand the theory of Anatta. It is Vajira Sutta Sangyutta Nikaya. Let's read it together. Yatahi Anga Sambhara Hoti Satto Sato Iti Evang Kandesu Santesu Hoti Santoti Sammuti. Yatahi Anga Sambhara. If there are connection with the parts, Saddo Ratho Iti Hoti, the word chariot or car wheel comes there. After assembling all the parts, it becomes a car, a vehicle. In other times, if the parts are separated each by, at that time we can't say as it is car. The wheels are separated, the chassis is separated, the parts of the body are separated, then different names. If we assemble all those parts, it is named as a car or vehicle or chariot. In the same way, the five aggregates are separated. Four elements are separated. Sometimes I say five elements, no? Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo, Akash also included there in some texts. That is why five elements are mentioned. Especially in the Buddhist suttas are given four elements. When the four elements get together, at that time we name it as a being, a puggala or satta. But in the deep sense, there is no such kind of person. I would like to wind up within 5 minutes. I think therefore I am. The Buddha was not prepared to posit an agent or a mental substance behind the psychological process represented by such things as feeling, Vedana, perception, Sanya, dispositions, Sanskara, and consciousness, Vijnana. I think therefore I am. Manta Asmi is a conclusion to be repudiated. So here also it is mentioned that this is a psychological fact. We take all these things as mine or I. It depends on the persons, but in the deep sense we can't take these things as soul or I or mine. It is this consciousness which transmigrated and not another. The heretical view put forward by a monk called Sati. There was a monk named Sati. He was asking, Venerable Sir, is there a way to say the consciousness is the unchanging consciousness is moving birth to birth. The Sati, Venerable Sati asked from the Buddha, Venerable Sir, please tell me, as I have understood, the consciousness is moving birth by birth. Then what Buddha said? You are wrong. Who have taught this? I haven't taught this to you. Consciousness is moving birth to birth. Actually, we also had such kind of ideas, no? What is moving to birth cycle? Mind? Consciousness? Or what is that? Energy? Do you have such kind of problem? I think you also may have. Yeah, Sati also had that kind of idea. What is the answer? What is moving? If someone asks from you who are connected to the other religion, because we are always saying, no, you are moving in birth cycle, then he will ask, which one is moving to next birth? Is it connected to you? We answer, yes, it is connected. So, is it you? Yes, it is I am. And it is not I am. We give two answers. Yes, it is I am. And also it is not I am. What is the reason for giving that kind of answer? These things are changing moment by moment. Sati asks, is there an eternal consciousness? Eternal, that word you have to remember. Eternal consciousness is no there. The consciousness also an aggregate, it is also anicca dukkha anatta. The consciousness also having those three characteristics. Change in moment by moment. That is why it is not me. It is changed to another position. It is not a different person, different thing. There is a connection, but it is not permanent. It is changing moment by moment. Buddha answered in this manner. It is this consciousness which transmigrated and not another. Causality condition. Here Buddha insisted that this consciousness is itself causally conditioned. Aneka pariyayena hi vo bhikkave paticca samuppannam viññānam vuttam maya aññatra paccaya natti viññānassa sambhavoti. There is a causal fact. Because of this it is occurring. Aññatra paccaya, without having causal conditions, viññānassa sambhavo natti, there will not be an origin of the consciousness. There is a connection. Each other, the cause and effect. That theory is connected here. What is this consciousness? In this regard, Buddha asks, what now Sati in this consciousness? Kataman Sati tam viññānam. Sati's answer was that it is he who speaks, feels, and he who experiences the effects of good and bad deeds here and there. That is the viññāna, and that is the answer of Sati. Conclusion. Yankinchi samudaya dhammam sabbantam nirodha dhammam. Whatever is in the nature of arising, it is in the nature of perishing. So here 5 aggregates and the dependent origination is applied, and they are applied to describe the concept of anatta. Basically, we don't take any aggregate as mind or I, as soul or self. And also, we understand it through the dependent origination, the Hetuphala Nyaya theory of dependent origination, cause and effect. So, imas means sati idang hoti. If it is there, the next one may be there. If it is not there, the next one will not be there. That is the way. If we have seeds of cravings or seeds of karma or actions, there may be rebirth. If we remove all those things, seeds of karma and also seeds of cravings, there will not be rebirth. We have to remove all those seeds of karma and cravings, meditating on 3 characteristics, taking as object our 5 aggregates, our body, our form, and the other mental factors. Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana, they are the mental factors. They are connected to the mind. Body is this body. The other 4 factors are connected to the mental side. Therefore, it is named as Nama. Nama, Rupa. Rupa is this body. Nama is the other 4 factors. So, all these factors are considered as impermanent, producing suffering and no soul. If it is producing suffering, if it is impermanent, I don't want to take anything as my own, as my soul. So here I end my Dhamma talk. I would like to wind up it thinking about these factors. You have developed your wisdom. You have little bit reached to the nirvana, to the final liberation. Yeah, you are reaching day by day, developing your wisdom. This hour, I think we have passed 1 and 10 minutes or 20 minutes. In this time, we have developed much our wisdom. If you have developed in a higher level your wisdom, this is the place you are attaining arahanthood. But still you have to develop it. Therefore, you couldn't attain arahanthood. Hearing this much explanation, actually, you have developed your wisdom much, and you are reaching to final goal very soon. May you all attain Nibbana as soon as possible. Say sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Good morning, Bhante, brothers and sisters. Bhante, I would like to, basically, selfless, right, is actually detachment. When we say detachment, right, meaning to say that we don't own anything in this world. Likewise, right, nothing owns us in this world as well, it go vice versa. Okay, that brings to the next level I want to ask is, what about those people, right, who lost hope, mean bankruptcy, loss in relationships, you know, they feel that there's not worth living anymore. You know, I might as well give up myself, go to another world. But those people who are rich, you have everything they want to enjoy, they want to prolong their life, to enjoy further to infinity, immortality. So this is a 2 extreme part of it, right? How will you deal with people who are given up hopes and those people who are not willing to give up hopes? One is basically go to a fundamental greed. You know, you have so much, you're not willing to give up. But some people have lost everything, so they give up everything.
Yes, brother, it is a good question. Sometimes we lose everything. Sometimes we can see there are many people who are having much properties, foods and all those things. Everybody has got craving, all those things, whatever they have. Think about a beggar, poor person. He is using a place, maybe a bus station, train station, or a tunnel. The poor beggars, they are living in those places. But they have got bondage, attachment even to those places. He will think, oh, this is my place. he has got very simple things. Sometimes he is a collector of the cardboards, papers. He is moving here and there collecting papers or empty bottles or empty papers, thrown things. He collect and keep in his place, and he has got a desire on these things also. Oh, these things belong to me. If someone try to catch it, he will blame, he will attack to those persons. If the urban urban people who are coming to collect garbages, if they come and try to collect them, he will fight against to them. These things belong to me, though they are rubbishes, they need me. In this manner, even poor people who have lost all those things, they are also having the craving and bondages, attachments. So sometimes some people will lose everything. Nothing is there because of tsunami or earthquakes or any other disasters, flood. They will lose everything. At that time also they will have attachment for those things. I have lost those things. I don't have anything now. Thinking on those things, they have got attachment. So in many ways, all the beings are having attachment until they attain final goal. Even you also have attachment. It is difficult to remove from your life. However, we are studying the philosophy, Buddhism, still we are having attachments. So at the final moment, we will lose all those attachments. We will destroy all those attachments. So the thing is, everybody, even each and every animals, they also have attachments. They are cling to their own things. So that may be the answer, brother. Okay.
As you see, the concept of anatta is very difficult. So it probably only can be realized by those who are at a higher level, become anatta. Now, basically I accept it, but doesn't mean that I don't accept it. But what I want to ask is that, could it be that Buddha teach the concept of anatta is a methodology to, like you say, to make us detached from our craving? What I'm saying is that basically, you say there is, as you say, the Chulasaka, there is anything that you cannot control. It's not. There is no soul, because there is no soul because of sicknesses and all these things. So there's nothing. Anatta concept. But can it be that you cannot control? Doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Can it be that there is no permanent soul? There is a soul, but there is no, right? But basically, we think that when we talk about soul, we think it's permanent. Like you say, continuously perpetual, permanent. But can it be that there is a soul, but the soul keep changing? Like you say, the consciousness, the energy keep changing. So there is a soul, but it's not permanent. It keeps changing. So to say that there is no soul, for a lay people who hasn't been realized, who is not Aryas, would be very difficult to accept, especially in our daily life. So is it right to think that there is a soul, there is permanency in everything, but except it's not, it keeps changing. So there is a soul. There is no such thing as there is no soul, but there is no permanent soul. So probably that is the Buddha's way of bringing the concept. So, but when you say there is no soul, it's very difficult for people to accept, because like you say, we are sitting here, that kind of thing, Of course, ultimately there's none. Okay, this is the whole thing. Then the second thing is that, then if we accept that there's no soul, there's emptiness, there's nothing, then how do we defend ourselves? how do we defend our family, our religion, our belief, or whatever, our country, when other people attack us? So what is our response? Do we just sit there like in the present world? If we actually believe the concept of Anatta, we'll be sitting there and letting the Hamas to bomb us or letting the Israelis to kill us. So how does a Buddhist respond to our daily life where people attack us? We are not doing anything. We are sitting there quietly, peacefully, but they come and disturb us. So what do? If we really practice the real concept of Anatta. Thank you, Bhante.
Okay, brother, you raised two questions. The last one is if someone try to attack us, if someone invade us, how we can stay observing silence mode. So we have to consider about the results. I will give you one example. Once a young girl asked a question from Dalai Lama while he was delivering a lecture. He was teaching about the loving kindness towards enemies. How to practice loving kindness towards enemies, not the other ones. Then Dalai Lama asked a question from that young girl. If you follow revenge, if you try to do wrong things towards those enemies, you will lose a chance to become a friend. If you spread compassion towards those enemies, one day he will come, he will talk to you, he will get excuse from you. Then he will become one of your best friends one day. If you attack him, if you follow the activities connected to the enmity, you will never get a chance to become a friend. If we follow wrong things, bad things against those enemies, it's endless. It will not end by this birth. It will move to this birth cycle also. Nahi verena verani, I think you have heard. Changing the positions, they are becoming enemies and the other opposition one. Endless. The way of stopping this enmity is tolerance. Buddha taught it us. If we follow the actions against towards all those persons, it will not end. That is the answer. And the first one was Atta. We can't live without talking self. So how we can manage this? Actually the word Atta is used in different meanings. Buddha has used this word in many times. Na atta hetu, na paratta hetu. In this way, attavada. In this manner, attanang upamang katva nahanayana ghataye. There are many places Buddha used, but different context. The meaning is different. In this philosophical fact, we are talking about the soul. So, completely, there is no soul in the philosophical side. We can't talk about self. The theory is based on the not soul. The Buddhism is based on the not soul. There is no any permanent soul or temporary soul. We can't take anything as soul according to that philosophical teaching, because all are scattered material things, different kinds of elements. So how we can take them as soul? In that context, no soul. That is the answer.
Okay, Bhante, thank you for your answer. Because, like what you say, Buddha used Atta Atma at different level. So,
Yes.
like you say, in this concept, he is using it at a very high level, which is Arya will understand. So, for our lay people, probably we have to use the meaning of Atta at our level,
Yes.
which is actually exists. But of course, to make life, to make us to the right direction, we have not to be detached from this self. Understood?
That is why conventional. It
different
is conventional,
Okay.
not the ultimate truth.
Yeah, so it's
I mentioned that one earlier. There
Yeah.
are two truths. This is conventional. We talk about I and mine, those things. My father, my mother. Conventional.
Yeah, we didn't
Yeah.
connect that two. So now it's quite clear
Yeah.
that when you talk about this concept, is at another level.
Yes.
But we cannot use this concept in our daily life. Our daily life, the non-permanent soul has to be at another level. Thank you.
Correct,
Thank you.
correct.
Yeah.
Actually, this doctrine is not for the all, according to my thought. As Buddha said, this doctrine is for the intelligence who are having idea of crossing this birth cycle.
For the wise.
Yeah.
But the problem is that, Bhante, a lot of this talk, they never make it very clear.
Yes.
So when we sit down there, we got mixed up.
Yes.
You are sitting at one level, we are trying to understand at another level.
Yeah.
So we go out, we are more confused.
Yes.
So, but if the Dharma talk actually draw the line very clearly,
We should not mix them. We should not
of
mix
course,
them.
but the mere fact that you say is conventional truth and the ultimate truth, you say that we also cannot connect. But you have to go a bit further to tell that now I'm teaching you the ultimate truth. Then we sit down there, we know at what level we are trying to understand.
Yes.
Thank you,
Correct.
Bhante. Thank you.
Okay.